Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here representing the Academy in this area that hasn't been discussed yet in this forum, which is animal welfare. I'm here not only as an animal scientist, but also as a researcher and as a producer here in the state, because my husband and I are also producers here. And we bring to you what we've been doing for animal welfare in Brazil. And it has been taking us to be recognized in the whole world as producers. Animal welfare is a little different thing to bring in a place like this because we've been talking a lot about agriculture. But when we talk about cattle grazing, we have a bigger difficulty, which is the productivity unit. Our animal, they have their own tastes, they move, and they are sentient. They have feelings as well. So that brings the importance of animal welfare. So what is animal welfare when we talk about that? In many people's minds, like some people here, it means that we need to have management with a flag. That's not animal welfare. Animal welfare is the state of the body of the animal at the moment we are putting it where we want him to be, the animal to be. We need to maintain this state in a positive way. We have the five principles of animal welfare. Arlindo talked about the five freedoms, but now we evolved a little bit and we mentioned the five principles. So we need to keep a good state for the animal. We need to have good nutrition, good environment, good health, good behaviors, and good mental health, remembering that they are sentient. Why am I saying that? It seems so theoretical because if we talk about our past a little bit in the cattle raising industry, when we talked about animal welfare, we used to not have an integration among these principles. And today we know that an animal in an uncomfortable environment, for example, in thermal stress, it affects its health, its nutrition affected, their mental state is affected. So all the principles of its welfare, they are affected and related. And in the past, we had no idea of this integration of these principles. 20 or 30 years ago, when we talked about animal welfare in Brazil, we had a difficulty of the adhesion to the cattle raisers to the good practices because they used to romanticize a little and they treated it as an utopic matter. And in the past, we initiated a research about this theme of animal welfare, and these researches they guided us to our present. And our present today, talking about animal welfare, we can say that we improved a lot their nutrition thanks to the pastures, the improvements in pastures, the genetical improvement of the pastures, the nutritional improvements of the pastures, but also the integrated models that bring more benefits to animal welfare. Like Arlindo said, we also have the present a bigger preservation of environment, just not only talking about sustainability, but also degraded pastures, contaminated water, all of that comes against animal welfare. So in the present, we also have the genetic selection that's being mentioned, but now we are also working on genetic selection for their personalities, which makes our lives as producers easier too. We are also talking about training programs in the field made created not only by the government but also by private initiatives like JBS, which is bringing specific training like slaughter management, reduction of fire management of different heisters and heifers, how to manage newborns. That's now being done completely different. And if you don't know, to this day, Brazil loses 30 million newborns per year. And our goal is to reduce this mortality. And today we have a project that is called Each Newborn Matters. And we have more engagement from the cattle raisers. In the past, we had cattle raisers being embarrassed to talk about and say that they were worried about animal welfare, but nowadays they are proud of it and they post about it on their social media. And today it's very important for Brazil that as we invest in animal welfare, we've had improvements in their economical development, the quality of the product, like poultry and swine, mm, dairy quality improvement. We also have, when we talk about animal welfare, we get engaged in the regulations of new markets. People who work with that know that markets put barriers such as animal welfare, and so we have to get involved with that. We also have animal welfare being discussed in the area of public health. When we talk about management that improve animal welfare, it's scientifically proved that we can decrease the use of antimicrobials, and that is completely related to the public health today. To be worried about the animal welfare is also a matter of ethics and responsibility. I believe everyone here that has care for a living being like we have our bovines, it's our responsibility to have them, to give them the minimum to have dignity in their lives. When we work with responsibility, we are teaching the next generations how to manage these animals well. And for the future, what do we expect for animal welfare in the future? Future is today. We're already discussing it, that animal welfare has to be one of the factors connected to sustainability. We cannot say that a product is sustainable, a product from animal origin is sustainable if we cannot prove that these animals have been well treated. Something else that we see for the future is in, insertion of animal welfare, even in the finance market. And in the stock market, it already appears the topic of animal welfare. We also see the worry, the concern of the consumer when they buy, that before used to be on the expiry date and now he wants to know what's inside this product. How has this product been produced? So we need to inform our consumers about the animal welfare. For the future, what stays for my part is that each time it's more necessary to train the people who are in direct contact with the animals. So we need to keep these efforts to train the workforce that will deal with animal welfare. And what I concluded from everybody's talk is that we cannot talk about animal welfare. In many forums and symposiums around the world, what we hear is, and what we think about is one welfare. So we need to talk about welfare for the animals and for our workforce, our employees. We need to talk about humane welfare, the welfare of the environment, and the welfare of the animal. Why? Because our objective as cattle raisers, and I'm talking about cattle raisers, is to search better businesses for our producers, better jobs for the people, better living conditions for our animals, better environment to live in, but above all, a better world for all ways of life. And to end my speech, I bring to you a quote. I think it's very important that the size of a nation and its progress can only be evaluated by the way they treat their animals. Thank you very much.